look at goal 3, target 8, talking about universal health coverage.
When last did you had your health check? It is mandatory for you to go for health checks.
Policemen, we are not politicians. We are professionals as far as security is concerned.
I know when I train you, you will also go out there as well. You can also train other person.
Get registered and obtain your name from them. When you have issues, it's expected that you visit the office.
On the program NEWDAY, we'll be dishing you out with so many loving moments.
Thank you so much for staying tuned on the program NEWDAY, of course your favorite morning show, and that's why on the discussion segment today we'll be talking about the overview of African activists for climate change. And today I have with me in the studio Mr. Ango Adamu, Executive Secretary YMCA and State Coordinator African Activists for Climate Change for Climate Justice, AACJ. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, ma. Thank you.
Good morning. And also I have with me in the studio Mr. Joshua Jonathan, National President, Association of Small Scale Agro Producers in Nigeria, ASASAPIN. You're welcome to the program.
My pleasure to be here.
All right, Mr. Ango, I'll start with you. You know, the African Activists for Climate Justice, AACJ, is winding down in Nigeria and 8 other African countries, and it was implemented from 2021 to 2025. So can you highlight the objectives of the project?
Thank you very much. The African Activists for Climate Justice project is a project that is being supported by the Ministry of External Affairs, Netherlands, to 8 African countries like Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, Somalia, South Africa, and the rest. Okay. And back here in Nigeria, I think the project is being implemented in about 8 different states, including Nasarawa. So we started since 2021, and graciously the project is winding up by this year. And we feel it is important we wanted to bring our beneficiaries to speak for themselves, but it couldn't work out that way. So we've done a lot of activities. I mean, the main objective of the project actually is to amplify the voices of Africans to be able to advocate, to be able to speak out, you know, on climate change issues so that they can have decent living like any other person in the society. So it has to do with mobilizing people, coming together, you know, to explain our narratives and see how we can adapt. So basically that is what the project was all about.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. So moving now to Mr. Joshua, what are the pathways of the project?
Well, there are 5 pathways, but we are majorly participating on one, which is the community resilience. And in this pathway, we looked at many other areas, how the community can be resilient in times of climate change. And we built a lot of topic on it. We worked on the nursery establishment and briquette production. These are also community-led action, which they can do it themselves. They agree this is the area that they can participate to reduce the menace of climate issues, even within their community. And one of the things that we did very prominent was also the community development plans for the community, so that they know what are their plans, what can they do to help their community grow or develop. And we start them together with them. We feature out their own needs, the necessity of the community, and we're planning with them. You know, these days people want to just go to individual to beg for support. But with this project, the community entirely can go and demand for their support, whether from the government or for individuals that are wealthy, that they can say, okay, this is our plan, can you help our community? And this is what some of the things that we did for the community. Thank you.
Wow, that's very good. So now coming down to you again, Mr. Ango, let's come down to Nasarawa State now. How can you assess the implementation so far here in Nasarawa State?
Well, it would have been better if somebody else was assessing me, the implementer. Just like I earlier mentioned, we wanted our beneficiaries to be here to speak. But since that one couldn't work out, I will speak on evidence-based achievements we have had. For this project in Nasarawa State, there is no local government that we have not established community nursery. In all the 13 local, at least one community with over 200 to 300 beneficiaries in each. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is the fact that we had a lot of capacity buildings, workshops to create awareness, like what we are doing in the media. We have so many episodes on a yearly basis to mobilize people, create awareness, let them know the effect of climate change, how they can adapt to it, what can they do. We also had a media capacity building workshop to help our media practitioners be able to report effectively climate change issues. And we have also established climate change clubs in schools. We have organized schools debates. We have trained people on briquette production as an alternative to cutting down trees. So all these small things we've been doing for the past 4 years is to help people to be able to, adapt, to effect of climate change and live decent lives. Okay. So this is what we've been able to do.
Okay, Mr. Joshua, do you have anything to add up to what he said?
Well, what he has said is what we did, and what is happening now in the society, one of the evidence is that people themselves are beginning to practice some of these things that we taught them. Especially on Saturday, I was in one community, I saw them producing briquettes, which is already a sustainability issue. People are taking it as a business, and even nurseries are also going on in some places. Nursery establishment, tree crops nursery establishment. People are already taking them as business. So those are the evidence of those kind of things that already people are practicing, are taking, adapting for their community. And that will help to reduce the menace of these climate issues.
Okay. All right. So now, apart from these issues you mentioned, and I believe they are part of some of the achievements you've gained for the past 4 years now. So what other achievement can you say is being recorded in Nasarawa State when it comes to this project, Mr. Joshua?
Yeah, one of the achievements is that, in our homes, a lot of people have fenced houses that they are not utilizing this other space that is left up. People are now beginning to use sack planting, sack cropping, planting crops on sack, just using them around their fences, which it has not been practiced before. It's part of the smart agricultural practices that we also taught them through this project, and people are beginning to practice that. You also recall that a lot of changes are also coming in terms of seed production. People are just using, people who have their land in riverine area, they are not using the same seed we were using before again. They have to use the varieties that are adaptable to those environments, especially like rice. People are now using Faro 67 instead of using the Faro 44, which we know very popular. So those are the kind of changes that farmers are beginning to, especially the smallholder farmers. They are changing from, because sometimes you can't predict the weather because it's unpredictable. They prefer to plant crops that can mature early than planting those ones that stays too long in the field.
Okay. All right. Coming down to Mr. Ango now, what are the challenges encountered during the implementation of this project? Because we cannot say you have not faced one or two challenges. So can you share with us those challenges you faced during the implementation of this project and how you were able to overcome those challenges?
Thank you for that very important question, because for anything that is useful in the society, there are bound to be challenges. From day one of the challenges we had, and we are still having, even in some communities that will not be able to reach, is the fact that a lot of people still don't believe that climate change is real. They are just saying these are just not, occurrences that are coming. So when we try to educate people, people will be bringing stories, they will be bringing myths, they will be bringing history, and we know that climate change is a scientific kind of study that need detailed explanation. So there has to be continuous education of people on climate change. At the long run, changes in behavior and actions will take place. The other challenges we've also had is the fact that, like I told you, we established community nurseries in all the 13 local governments in Nasarawa State. And people have planted as a mitigation strategy to cutting down of trees. Again, sometimes...
Let me ask you, you know,
okay.
When you said community nurseries, so
Yeah.
somebody out there who is watching might not really understand
Okay.
what you mean. So can you just elaborate that
Okay.
for the benefit of those of us that don't really understand what
Thank you.
means?
Community nursery here as a climate change mitigation strategy is we raise trees to plant. Go to our way, you'll find our nursery in Mahanga. If you come to Obi, local government, you see it in Tudadabu. You go to Nasarawa, you see it at Loko. In Marmara. And then if you go to Toto, you will see it at Shapon Koto, Masaka in Karu, Lafia in Biedi, and so all the local governments I can mention, we have established this nursery for people to manage, plant the trees in their fields as a sustainability package or as a mitigation package to sustain our ecosystem. So that is what we've been able to do. But the challenge we've had from some of the communities is some of the trees already planted are invaded by herders, by cattle. And that is, you know, a one step backward. And then the other challenge will always be issue of funding. For every project, there's a limit to which you can go. So we are now at the time that people are very much interested to know about climate change is the time the project has ended. So this is a major challenge. Except we're able to get support from other sources, we may not be able to continue to educate people on climate change issues. So these were some of the challenges we had. But through our resilience in continuous awareness creation, through the media, through community visit, through talking to traditional leaders, we've been able to, you know, help people to understand that climate change is real and everybody needs to take a little action. Very interestingly, we in the African continent, we are not very much responsible for the damage in the globe like the West. In fact, the contribution of African countries to climate change is not up to 10% compared to what Japan, Australia, India, China, UK, who are burning fossil fuel for production of massive goods, sending it to us, but we here are the ones receiving the brunt. The effect of climate change is very, very high here, and we don't have technology to mitigate. They have technologies. If there is flood, they use drones to fly people away, but here people die. So these are some of the challenges we are hoping that government, private sectors can join hands so that we can work together to fight climate change issues.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Joshua, still talking about the challenges now. Is there any challenge that you think Mr. Ango might not really see it as a challenge, but then you feel it's a challenge? And can you share that with us? And how do you think we can overcome the challenge?
Well, one of the challenge was in terms of inputs, like the irrigation facility, which could be used any time you want to plant your crops, and seeds. Some farmers at a point where we are directing them to go and get some certain varieties of seeds from the government side, particularly in the ADP, they will be there and they will tell them the seeds are not available. So that's another challenge that we also face during the program. But I think that government can handle this. They can build up seed system that can make available various varieties of seed that is demanded by the states, so that farmers can get these seeds easily. I think those are the kind of things that government can do. It's part of the challenge that we have seen the cost of that. Even for the agroforestry area, they will tell you they have a lot of seedling, but people going there to collect, sometimes you go, you will not find them giving you what you are desiring to have. So government can make this thing available in all places, in all local governments, so that farmers can get rich to this. And it will help to plant a lot of trees. When you plant a lot of tree crops, you will discover that you are already meeting a lot of challenges that is coming from the atmospheric issues. So one of the things that government can do is to establish this nursery all over, and then not just specific place. So people will travel from away to come to Lafayette to come and collect seedling. You know, the difficult on transportation now will make some people not to come, even if you have the desire to own it. So I think decentralizing it by the government system, I think it will help.
Okay. All right, so what are the plans to sustain the gains achieved so far?
Well, again, the plans already, we have taught, like you said, we brought people on training. We have taught them how to produce this seedling themselves, establish the nursery themselves before taking it even to the field, to the permanent site. And then the issue of the briquetting, which I told you, the briquette was already, people are even practicing it on their own. They took it as a business. That is already sustainable. And I see people looking at planting, even this sack planting in their houses, using cement bag, fertilizer bag, planting tomato, planting yam, potato. These are already sustainable. Even if there is no rainfall, you can use this, the little water you have in your house, you can use them to produce crop, food. So I think it's already in pipeline. People are already sustaining the gain of this project.
Okay.
And maybe, sorry, just to add to the issue of sustainability, I'm very happy to share that we have climate change clubs in schools, which is very sustainable. We have youths that we've trained to dramatize climate change issues. Okay. We also had a training for the media, you know, to be able to report evidence-based climate change issues. And we have worked with community traditional leaders, you know, who are in the grassroots. We've also worked with sidelined people, like the vulnerable people, as part of our climate change. And we have also worked with other CSOs, because we are not the only one implementing climate change issues. Yes. We have worked with other CSOs in Nasarawa State, and especially our mother ministry, Ministry of Environment, Agri, ADP, so on and so forth. So with these people, these organizations coming together, I think there is a sustainability plan on ground, even for the oil palm seedling that we've established in all these communities. AACJ is ending by this year, but I tell you, oil palm tree can last for more than 60 years. Okay. So it is, you know, part of the achievements we can say we have recorded in the communities. People will continue to reap the benefit of what this project has brought, even after its duration. Okay.
Wow, that's a very good one, and we can see you people have come far. You're able to achieve a lot in this project. So now, how many communities benefited from the project implemented? That's across Nasarawa State. Can you share with us how many communities?
Yes, let me start again. Like I said, because we did the work, I can remember. If you go to Away, you find Amahanga community benefited. In Lafia, Jidameakwe and BAD benefited. In Nasarawa Igon, Agunji and Gubi communities benefited. In Akwanga local government, Buhar and Sakwe benefited. In Wamba, you go to Angwa Carpenter, they benefited. In Kokona, you go to Jidijidi and Garoku itself. Then Karu, Masaka, Nasarawa, Mahanga, Toto in Shapankoto. All these communities are mentioned. At least 300 to 400 beneficiaries, benefited from the AACJ project through the nursery establishment we did. Because we gave them improved oil palm seedlings. They raised the nursery and they transplanted in their permanent site in their own field as their own without paying a dime. So that is our support with communities to be able to fight climate change issues.
Okay, that's about 10 to 9 communities, right?
As more than that.
Not more.
Okay.
We have 13 local governments, and most of the local government have two communities.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can see that even if it is just one, it's already 13.
Okay.
It's about 18, 19 communities, because some local government have had 2, others had 1.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, okay. So now, how did the communities embrace the campaigns, especially when it has to do with climate change, to Mr. Ango?
Yeah, like I told you in the beginning, we are used to what we've been doing in the past. So bringing or introducing climate change issues was a very stressful kind of thing, because people don't believe that climate change is real. When you tell them the rains are not coming because of climate change, they will say it is because of our sins that the rain is not forthcoming. But we know that somebody somewhere is damaging the globe, damaging the environment, and is causing other communities with flood. Other parts of the world are experiencing drought. In some places, insect infestation, animals are dying. So with this awareness creation, people were gaining a lot of interest from the communities. And like I mentioned, at the time that we are supposed to do more, is the time the project is winding up. So people generated a lot of interest in what we've done, and other climate change actors in Nasarawa State that participated in this thing we did, especially even in the seasonal rainfall prediction. NIMED will release what will happen in terms of rainfall in the state. We carried forward as a step-down training, and it helped a lot of farmers that, look, you can take decision, because this is the kind of pattern rain is going to come this year. It will come early, it will end so month. So it helped them to be able to decide what kind of crop to plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to Mr. Joshua, what are your calls to the benefited communities? What will be your call, or what will be your advice to them?
Well, my call is for them to sustain the gain of this project. At least they have benefited from it, and they know what is expected of them to do by now. So they should continue to sustain the gain of this project, so that the issue of climate will be reduced in our communities.
Okay. So now, what will be your advice to them now, the benefited communities?
Well, let me start with the government first. My suggestion or advice to the government is, all the time we have always called on the government to support research institutions to be able to develop improved seed that can cope with the realities of climate change. We have College of Agriculture, we have university, and other institutions that have something to do with agriculture. They should be empowered, they should be encouraged, to develop, support their research work, so that they can come up with what is very, very practical to our own state here, and we'll have more food to eat. Back to the beneficiaries, I want to call on them to maintain those trees they planted, because they are the ones to reap the benefits. And they can even use it as business idea, that they'll be able to be raising these trees and sell to other farmers. And I will not forget to especially thank our donors, Oxfam in Nigeria, and the African Activists for Climate Justice project, being supported by Ministry of External Affairs, for this wonderful support they've given us in Nigeria, that we've been able to implement this project and to the end. So this will be my take.
All right. Still talking about the general public now, Mr. Ango, what will be your advice to people, the general public now, especially those that still believe that climate change is not real? So what will be your advice to everybody now?
Well, to me, for everybody, we have to embrace it. It is real. Climate change is real. It has come to stay with us, and people should not use religion to hide under some issues. This is real, and so people should just embrace the reality. I'm sure with the climate prediction, people have now learned that flooding can come to community because we are very specific in some area and people saw it happening. So they are now beginning to embrace it. So let's take it that way and continue the way it is being said to us.
Okay. So do you have anything to add, Mr. Ango?
Yeah, is to especially thank the NBS and the media. Okay. I tell you, since we started, we have received a lot of support from this house, you know, helping us to propagate the gospel of AACJ. And probably this might be our last episode for now. Okay. I want to sincerely thank you, people like you, for supporting this program, God's Power AD, and so on and so forth. And I want to thank the Ministry of Environment that we have worked together, and other MDAs as well as other civil society organizations in this fight. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for honoring our invitation, Mr. Joshua and Mr. Ango, and we really appreciate your presence. We believe that when next we invite you, you honor our invitation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewer, that was a discussion there talking about overview of African activists for climate change, and I had with me Mr. Ango Adamu, Executive Secretary YMCA and State Coordinator African Activists for Climate Justice AACJ, and also Mr. Joshua Jonathan, National President Association of Small Scale Agro Producers in Nigeria, ASASAPIN. Thank you so much for staying tuned on the program, and I believe that you learned one or two things from what they shared with us today, because you know we need to do what they advise us to do, because we don't have any other country other than Nigeria. So if an expert should come out and advise us, we should always ensure that we work with their advice. Thank you so much once again for staying tuned.
When you look at goal 3, target 8, talking about universal coverage.
When last did you had your health check? It is mandatory for you to go for health checks.
Policemen, we are not politicians. We are professionals as far as security is concerned.
I know when I train you, you will also go out there. As well, you can also train other person.
Get registered and obtain your name from them. When you have issues, it's expected that you visit the office.
On the program NEWDAY, we'll be dishing you out with so many loving moments